Hey, hey, hey! What is happening, everybody? Welcome to the Thursday HypeHype live stream. I am Shogun. Got off to a little bit of a rush start today, but here we are, ready to go, ready to answer some editor questions, check out some hypes, open up your hypes in the editor, whatever you feel like you might want to see from me, you can ask it, and I will try and comply. I know right off the bat here, my homie HypeC has sent me a couple of questions before the stream started here. So I think we're going to start by jumping into those. I'm going to put them somewhere here on one of these screens so that I can read them. Then, oh, I think I messed something up. Let's see. Here on one of these screens. Okay. Yes, I did. But we are live, so that's good. All right, so I'm going to jump into these questions from HypeC. Which means we should go here to, boom, the gameplay screen, and we will, I assume here, be going away from Vic's biome game. And the first thing we're going to be looking at here, we have a link that I'm going to have to copy here in just a moment. So, Banana Run, collision of the spikes don't seem to register the collision, or the collision seems to be around the bottom of the spikes. The banana sometimes falls forward or backward, limited to Z angle, and banana still sometimes falls. Would prefer not to limit angle for cool banana flying through the air effect when hit. How to get ball and chain to work with hinge point. All right, so we have 3 questions about this hype, and then I see 2 more questions about a different hype, but we'll tackle these 3 first. So first thing I'm going to do, though, is I am going to just go to hello, human from another planet. How are you? I'm doing all right, thank you. I hope you're doing okay. Anyway, I'm going to go to this Discord message. And there we are. So I'm going to copy the link to this hype. I'm going to just go and throw it in the notepad. So we're going to paste that. Yep. And then we're going to open it. Okay. And then we can come back here. So this is the hype. So let's just first check out what's going on here with the banana run. Oh, this is this one. Okay, so we looked at this last week. It's where you hold to run and you let go to not run. All right. And so the hold is working now. That's what we were looking at last week. And so the first question was about these spikes. Yes, the collision of the spikes don't register the collision, or the collision seems to be around the bottom of the spikes. All right, let's just go and see. Yeah, so we walked right through the spikes. Nothing happened. I guess we can't walk backwards. But if we stop right here, it doesn't seem like it is registering at all. All right, so let's take a look at that. Let's go in here. We're just going to open this in a remix. I am going to turn down this volume a little bit for me, which I need to do here because that gameplay music was a little loud on my end. So Gaming with Soul wants to know, when is the update? It should be really soon. I can't really give you an exact date. I mean, I think when we showed it to you guys last week, we really expected that it would be out by now. But it is a very large update, a lot more bugs than usual that the team needs to work through and squash before we can release it, to make sure that we try not to give something to you that is is too filled with bugs. But I know everybody wants it to be out. You guys all want it out. We also all want it out. All right, and also you have way too many dust particles in the hype. Not sure why. Okay, so we can check that out as well. What happens if we play it? Oh, I'm still in the updated editor here. I'm actually, just since it's what you guys are still working with, I'm going to go and use the live build. Sorry about that. I thought I had changed that, but I think I had changed. I've been reverting back and forth between the different builds a lot lately. But this will just take a moment, and then we will be back. In the meantime, we could do just a little bit of mood music, maybe.
I should get really close.
No, not that. This. There we go. Okay, there it goes. It's done. And the time it took me to turn on some tunes. Oh, I never even switched the thing. You guys just watched me do that. That's cool. I'm dumb. Okay, yeah, let's reopen that. Nope, let's not reopen that because it's trying to open it from the old editor. So let's go back to that notepad and open this. Alright, then we're going to remix. We're not going to load the autosave. Alright, so now let's turn on Logic. Let's see what we're looking at in here. Okay, so we have Spike Move. Spike Move is an unmovable object. It is the red group. And then I assume this guy has collision, looking for the red group, yes. And then we're changing the animation and hitting a broadcaster of game fail on collision. All right, so that should be good, right? So what's the problem here? Let's take a look. Physical, in here we've got kinematic, sensor no, limiting all angular movements. All the collision groups are selected. So that seems good. And then you're using transform and wave generator here to make it go up and down. That's cool. And I guess this is the pre-made, yeah? Or did you make this yourself? Not that it really matters either way. Let's see what we have in this guy's physical. He's also got all his collisions on. This got nothing changing his this collision, rigged animation. Now, when you are, so this is the line here. That's the tile map, of course. The spikes are underneath. Whoops. Oh, you have some different ones here. Let's see. Let's look under the ground here. Let me select one of these. There we go. So I think first thing I want to do just to check this is I'm just gonna name these differently so we know which one we're using here. Spike Move 1, and we'll call this one Spike Move 2. Whoops. Do we have in here in transform affect physical? That may be the issue. There you go. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's great, dude. Now I can't avoid it. I was rolling just right through it every time. Now I can't. Did I somehow make this thing go faster or something? What did I do? I broke something. But I made the spikes work. So, you know. Okay. Ba-ba-da-ba-da. You want a cool animation for when he gets hit. I would use maybe it might be fun. One of the swimming poses might be fun as he's flying through the air. You know, like a motion like that. But I was thinking maybe oh, come on, I know there's more of these. Load them. There they go. There's all those jump poses. This one, the joyful jump pose, might be funny. So what if we change us this collision to joyful jump? What was the other one that looked like it might be good? Let's look at that again. Oh, what's the swimming pose? Because the swimming pose will have some motion. Where were those? Weren't they right at the top? Swimming. Here we go. Swim silly. Alright. Swim regular. We're going to say swim silly. And then maybe could also pick up the animation speed. Let's make it like 2. Oh man, I hate it when I do that way too often. Select that guy. There you go. He rolled a little too fast. Oh no! Oh, because it kind of like turns him on his side automatically because it's a swimming pose. So he immediately kind of like goes down. But yeah, I would definitely randomize between some different options. A good way to go, so it's not always the same. Ryan PH in the house. Excited for Christmas already, dude. That's a little early for this guy. But I can get down with Halloween. Halloween is a fun holiday. Alright, so let's get back to this. So we solved the spike problem. Was just one little click there. Just to recap. In the transform here, the affect physical was turned off. So essentially, it was visually moving the spikes up and down, but it was leaving the collision under the ground. So there's problem one. Problem two, the banana sometimes falls, okay, and you don't want to limit, and that is going to be a problem for our homeboy, the stabilizer. So I'm going to preface this by I haven't used this tool a ton. I'm not super familiar with it. But I did recently use it in my hype that I just put out a few days ago to basically fix this very same problem. Being that I had characters that in the physical, the angular was locked on the X and the Z so that they could only turn, they couldn't fall over in either way. But sometimes, if forces were great enough, it would push them over a little bit anyway, and then they would be kind of like stuck in that pushed over position. That's not great either. So just like you, I wanted them to be able to move angularly if they needed to, but to then make themselves upright. And that is what the stabilizer is for. So it's already attached to self, but let's go ahead and attach it anyway to the physical of the banana. We want to have stabilize upwards. Yes, we're a hover distance. We want this to be as low as possible. I don't think you can set it to 0. Yeah, 0.1 is as low as that goes. But it should be okay. And then this is going to have some other effects. Obviously, it does some dampening in here. It has some other forces. So we might just play and see how it affects. Let's maybe get rid of that swimming animation just because it makes it kind of hard to see how that guy is moving. So let's put this back to we'll put it this joyful jump pose for now. That was pretty funny. So I think the one thing we're gonna find is that well, obviously in that case it puts like some crazy spin on the homie. Whoa, what did that do? I guess it doesn't matter since you do the since you're using the slowdown. But I guess it would be that in oh snap. Those should apply some force maybe. Stop and go leads to falling. Okay. I'm just gonna nerf this a little bit because so we can test a little bit easier. So what do we have in here? How is this thing being animated? I guess it's up here. Yes. So I'm gonna go in the wave generator here and just make these durations. Let's just make them slightly easier. We'll do it even 1 second and see if that makes this any easier for me. Yes. We need to run. Oh, those get you. Oh, I like it. I just noticed you have the goose following. So what am I supposed to do? Should I wait for these guys? Okay. Alright, ball and chain. There was a question about that. Cool. Alright. Oh, what I should actually kill that. I forgot that was just waiting music while we were loading in the new build. Had double music going there. So focused on... I think the one thing we need to do here, alright, so the one thing I would do anyway is when you get hit, turn off that stabilizer, right? You want to just be moving freely. So we could add that on collision start, stabilizer, activation, enabled, off. But I just want to turn it off for now. So that I can see if I can make this. Oh. Yeah, so I would just, I would say play around with that. See, also, you can play around with these dampenings if it feels like it's affecting the controls too much, which I, just in the short amount of playing I've done here, I didn't notice a big difference. But it's your game, you know how it should feel. So you could play around with that. You could also probably just turn these off and just use the stabilize upwards. I think I left the whole thing off though, didn't I? Yeah, whole thing needs to be enabled. Oh. Oh, but there he goes. Okay, so one of those things I turned off did affect it. Do we want those on? You can, of course, also play with the force here. It seemed like, I don't know, that's a pretty high number. 200 is as high as it goes. What if we make this up force higher? What if and then we leave these off? But that's cool. Now I found a place where I know I can make him fall over. And you can see there he's kind of trying to get back up, but it's not working. And I guess that's going to be this up force. Oh. Actually, you know what, though? That might be... Yeah, I don't know. I guess keep those on. I should get a lesson on this tool from Hamu or somebody more intelligent than myself. Just gonna see with all this stuff turned on, does it still fall over if I stop here? No. Okay. So for whatever reason, you do need those dampeners on. All right. Now here's what you're talking about with all this dust. I see. There was like a bunch of extra dust there. It wasn't, I think, one of the official questions, but let's see if we can figure out where that's coming from. It seems to be in this area. I'm gonna guess maybe that dust particle is on each of these balls. Yeah, because it disappears as the balls go away. So I think here in these balls you have this trail. In this instance, I don't know if you meant for that to be there, if they're supposed to have a different type of trail, maybe. And there, you had said it in the chat. Dust from the balls. Indeed. But so yeah, at least for now, if we go in there, we can just turn that off. And then the last question for this hype was How to get the ball and chain to work with a hinge joint, question mark, or something else. I think in this case, unless you want this to have like kind of semi-realistic physics, I would say in air quotes realistic, you could definitely do this with physics and hinge joints, but I think you're probably going to be better off essentially doing this the same way you did this one, which is just to glue everything to one point and rotate it. But let's get these guys aligned here. Let's see, position where we're at on the, I guess that's the Z. Let's line everything up with all right, so the ball and chain's glued to the chain, and the chain is glued to this centerpiece. All right, let's just make these all even because that's what I like to do. So we're going to make that 45. We're going to make this one 45. And then we're going to make this one 45. Okay. Now I see you have a hinge joint in here already, which is fine. It's enabled, no motor. Physical of this, you're going to want to be, if you're using a hinge joint, you want physics to be dynamic on everything. Okay, and then these are all getting their physics from the parent, so that should be fine. So in that case, that should just work with physics, but it probably is going to be the case. Oh, well, there it's the wrong. It's hitting the ground, so we'll move this guy this way a little bit. Oh, come on. I think, though, it was still hitting the ground. So I'm anyway going to go back. What we can do there is, yes, go to here. And then we're going to want to move this up on the Y. Actually, I guess probably because we do want to be able to see some chain there, at least. So we move that up a little bit, and then we move the whole situation up a little bit. And then we can rotate it back to here. Oh, come on now with this thing. Oh, it's going right in the crowd. But yeah, I mean, so that's it. Working with physics works fine, actually. Keeps swinging. But one thing to keep in mind is kind of like the slower it takes you to get there, the less it's going to be swinging. So like if we really take our time here, we kind of like wait for all these obstacles. We're going to wait for this thing. You know, maybe we waited a little bit longer. I don't know. But we're definitely going to get to a point here where each time it's swinging a little less far than it had previously, which is going to make it harder, right? So I think instead, you know, we probably just go copy this exact same logic. It's essentially the same obstacle. Aquasneck says, hello, good night, add guns. So there you have a request for some guns in this hype now, Hypesy. But yeah, so put this like here. You know, we probably can just take this whole thing, copy it. Get rid of this one and this one. And then here we're going to want to unparent. Delete that one. Let's move this one into its place. And this was 45. Make it a nice round 0. Let's do that with these as well. 0, 0. Okay, and then we glue this guy back to this guy. Oh, and it's all offset. Which is, this is a problem currently in the thing that we've discussed, that there should be some sort of ability to control the pivot point. I can see now that it's also pivoting weird on your hammer there. You know, for now, I think the only solution to that is to kind of offset the objects until you get kind of the motion you're looking for. But we should at some point get the ability to actually set manually where the pivot point is of a glued object, because currently it just kind of, you know, it's the center point of all the objects combined, which in certain cases is exactly what you want, but not all cases, like this one. And that seems to have made it worse. But you get my meaning. But yeah, so there should be a better solution for that at some point. But for now, it's just kind of like a balancing act to get that center point of all the objects where you want it to be. You know, and then if you end up having like some big object up here that that makes the whole thing ugly, you make that object invisible, right? Yeah, Ryan, that's definitely a much more complicated, but cool. It would be a much cooler looking solution. You would get some cool motion. Although I believe this chain is already all one object, so you would also have to replace the chain with kind of like individual spheres, which of course we have, or rings. So you could do that. If we wanted to do something like that, let's try it out. We could also probably do some sort of combination of physics and animation here. So I'm going to, let's detach this guy. I'm going to delete these, right? We're going to go get some rings. Do we have individual chain links, or is it's just that pre-made chain link? All right, so we want to just get some rings. Ring, sorry. All right, so we have this round set of rings, right? Which one's going to be good? Maybe that second from smallest one is probably a nice width for this. So let's get rid of these other ones. then we were working at 0, 45. Maybe we'll scale that up a little bit. And then we'll bring it down to like maybe there. Okay. And then this one is going to be glued direct to that, right? But then, whoops, didn't really mean to do that. And we're going to have another ring here. Also, let's just set this manually 0. And we'll go up here a little bit. And then we'll do one more of those. Oops. 0. Let's just do 4.5. These don't need to be perfect. And so these, now we're going to use, let's use hinges, okay? So we're going to grab some hinge joints. Let's do hinges, yes. We want it to rotate that way, yes. We're going to do 1, and then we're going to do 2, right? And then we're going to make the Y offset. Why is it not? No, not local axis. But why is the Y offset not doing anything? Oh, it was doing something. Aha, it was just updating slowly. Okay, there we go. So we want to get that. That's about there. Maybe slightly lower. No, that's too low. Whoops. .7. Close enough. All right. You get another one of these. This one will attach there. And then maybe that's just going to be positive 0.7. Yeah, that's good enough, right? And then from there, this one, we will, what if we just glue it to this one? I'm just curious how that's going to work. So now we're going to have, oh, it's going to here. This guy doesn't even have physical. We want dynamic physics, dynamic physics. Dynamic physics. Whoa, it's maybe a little too fast. Oh, God. It's so violent. But there, so you're kind of using a combination of the two. I was initially thinking of not doing this glued because then you still get that kind of like weird glue problem. You could also do this one with a hinge. Probably not a... well, you could do it with this hinge. Let's go to there. Physical, yes. We're gonna whoops, not -7. Yeah, that's good. But then we're gonna do limit. We're gonna give it a pretty small limit. Let's give it like 5 to 5 here. Oops. Oof, that's making it even more violent. I think you probably need to slow down the rotation speed of that. Or actually, it's the rotation angle, right? So if we go in here to the wave generator, and this is going 90 to 90, right? So we don't need to go that far. What if we go like 45 to 45? That'll make it a little more. Whoops. That's a little wild. But it has that kind of chain movement to it. Sort of. But yeah, so, I mean, you could do something like that, play with it. I would say, if you want to do it that way, probably I would scale this whole thing down. Add a few more chain links so that it's a little more rope-like. Like, this is still pretty rigid with only 2 real hinges in there. And, you know, then, of course, play with the speeds or whatever if you want to go that route. Okay, so if there's nothing else on this hype, I still have another hype here from HypeSeat with some questions. So let's actually go to this screen this time. Here we go. While I go and retrieve this link. There's the Discord. Copy the link. Paste it there. Open it. Oh, I think I need to, because I'm still in the editor here, I need to exit the editor or it's not going to open that link. Here we go. So we will bring back this beat, DJ. Okay, so let's jump in the remix here. Let's see what we got here. This is the awesome Gazelle scene made at the, I guess, New York Museum of Natural History or something like that. I know you were at some museum and it was cool. And now you got a guy in here, but it's still just a scene. This guy's not doing anything. Sweet. What questions do we have? Tried adding invisible character with joystick controls and having camera follow, but not able to create movement. Okay. Changed animation of Gazelle to idle and the animal looks twisted. Not sure what's up. Okay, I think I can answer both of these questions. So first of all, we have in here, this is a character with a joystick. I think probably what's going to be a little bit easier is just deleting this guy. We're just going to go to the pre-mates here. You're going to let me go to the pre-mates? It's crashed. All right. Let's relaunch the app. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. And back at it. Oh, it's the night at the museum. Cool. All right, and so now we'll go to the assets here. We're going to go to pre-mates, and we're just going to take the simple pre-made run and jump character. All right. We're going to bring this homie in. We'll bring him here so he's facing the gazelles. Something like this. And now what we're going to get is when we play, yeah, so he automatically takes control of the camera. We have the movement of the player, and we can start running around and doing stuff like that. Now what we want is to not see this guy, right? And maybe to have the camera, right now it has this drag to rotate, right? Maybe we want instead the camera to actually just move with the guy. So we're going to go in and we're going to start messing with this, with these player controls. Let's move these kind of up in the sky a little bit so we have some room. One thing that I always got to remember is when you're moving these around to try and get more room to work with them, you got to be careful to not, like, for example, drop player controls on the cloud there, which it's trying to do. All right. So first off, I think we just want to get rid of drag and turn, right? We don't need it. And then the camera is actually being controlled, I think, by this little square that is inside of this guy. So we go inside him here. We can see there's a little square here that's difficult to touch. But if we can get it... What if we, boom, ungroup? That's probably the solution. We just get rid of that square too. We just want the controls, right? So now we have the controls of this guy. He's not taking the camera anymore, but we can fix that. Because it is, I believe, oh no, it's not. But anyway, we can just manually attach it to him, right? So we're just gonna tell this to target this guy. And we want it to do the keep behind. So now it turns with the guy. It's a little harsh with the movement. And then we get some weird, as we turn, he's still kind of running forward. But you can just kind of see there with the control. The controls are not good in this situation. We might want to try and move the camera. Since it's a little more of a first-person type situation, the camera could be more here close to the guy instead of so far up there. And then I think, well, the FOV is 45. That's not bad. Let's use some exact numbers here. We're going to set this to 8, 5, 7. And then we'll do the same with this camera. 8, 5, 7. And then, well, maybe the Y will be a little bit higher. We're also going to make this guy invisible. So we're kind of getting it. But you can see there now I'm holding full left, and he's still kind of running forward there. So we have some stuff to work out there. I mean, it's maybe a little hasty in deleting that drag and turn. We might we might still need that a little bit for this particular instance. We could also go and steal those controls from a different game that already has first-person controls. Could be possible. I'm trying to think of one that, trying to think of a hype that has good first-person controls. I know Yelp has one, but I don't think he's released it yet, or am I mistaken about that, Yelp? Welcome to the stream, by the way. Good to have you here, homie. But yeah, so what if we're going to go back out of here. We're going to go to, I'm going to add that guy back. Add this guy back with all of his junk here, right? This one's still up here. We can delete that. We have a new one. All right. We're going to turn this guy towards the Gazelles. We're going to position him same as we did before. It was what? It was 7, 5. No, I think it wasn't 5. 7. Was it 6? No, it was 4. It was the lower number. No, whatever. Now it's... There we are. Okay, and if we put this guy in the same position again, 7 and 7, now what's going to happen? So yeah, now we can move with the right stick. We can still jump with the left stick, and then we can look around this way. But I think what we can do is in that drag and turn, we can easily take this, and instead of using screen touch, we could make another controller on this side for looking left to right. Might be good. So for example, we can go in here. Let's get this drag and turn. Let's open it up. And so here we're going to replace now this with a joystick. And in the player controls, let's go up here. Show these in the player controls. We're just going to turn off this button. It's not there. It's not visible. We don't need to be able to jump in this situation. And then down here, let's go and add a joystick. And then let's see what this thing is doing. So this is sending on touch start. It is executing the variable. Executing two variables. On touch move. Is this really just executing? There must be more than execution going on here. How does it know which way it's going? Touch X, touch Y. All right, so this is where it's, yeah, this is where it's changing values. All right. But actually, since you brought it up, since this will be really complicated, but basically what I would do here is I would figure out what these values are that this is sending, because obviously this is sending values based on where you're touching. To determine how it rotates, right? And so you kind of figure out what those values are so that you can send those same values from this based on the probably the x-axis magnitude. It actually would probably simplify this layout a little bit, because we also don't necessarily need up and down. This has up and down rotation right now? No, it doesn't. It's only left and right. But let's see, since you mentioned it, let's see how Sny did it in that in the Fields one. Whoops. So he's got his own movement method here, it seems, but he does just have this camera is just locked to the character with the keep behind on. So yeah, it's really I think the difference is, well, for what he's just using all, it looked like all vector transform there for the movement, which is cool. But I didn't see in there how he was counteracting the fact that once you start to turn. Actually, how did we end up back here? I wanted to actually play that. Right, so let's flower. There we go. All right. Okay, so he's got it set up a little bit differently. So left and right on the joystick just turn, and then up and down move. That's what the difference is. So if we go back to the Gazelles, can I get back to there? Will it be... let's go to Hype C. Noah, welcome to the stream. Building on a laptop. Sweet. I'm going to go to the Gazelles here. We're going to hit our remix. Let's cancel that. And let's, for another time here, we are going to load in a pre-made playable character and just see if it would be easier to make your own or to make this guy work. And it might honestly in this case be easier to make your own, since we're probably going to be doing some pretty heavy editing to this. But I think again we're pretty sure we don't want that drag and turn, which means that we do not need the little box inside of this guy. So let's get rid of that. Let's move this here. Drag and turn, we're going to delete. Player controls, we're going to take them up in the sky here so we can edit them. And again, I think we're just going to turn off this because we don't need to jump. But what we want here now is we want y-axis going to movement and we want x-axis going to rotation. So currently we only have we have move angle going to both. Let's see, this is rotate and then this is rotate. Why are they... This is the problem with trying to edit these, which I do like to do because it can save a bunch of time. But there's a bunch of complicated stuff going on in here that you don't necessarily need for what you're trying to do. So I actually think in this case it might be easier to just build this yourself, because you need a pretty simple setup here. I think. Now we ended up with some extra stuff. Where did these guys come from? Where did you guys have? You had those there already. Let's exit this again. Let's go back to... Let's see if we can just take HypeHype's controls, right? So HypeHype has this guy. Pretty basic. Joysticks in here. He's got a vector transform, which is controlling the Y. And then he's got a button there. I feel like that button is just turning on the joystick. Yes. So we take this, this, and this. We're going to copy those. And paste. Okay. Now, why is that? Now, what? There we go. Okay. So, now we have this guy here, right? This is more or less our camera. We take the camera, put it right around where the guy is. Let's again make it easy. Set some values. 9.7. Oh, and then in here he had it starting off. The joystick is not enabled. And this I did not attach to the guy. Skipping steps here, just skipping steps. There we go. Now we've got a nice simple setup here. I was definitely making it too complicated. And of course, we probably could have pretty quickly built this ourselves because it's a pretty basic setup. I think the one thing he has kind of slightly complicated in here is the Y value being controlled by those vector transforms. You know, so that you don't just walk into hills. But otherwise, it's a pretty basic setup. Okay. Change the animation of the Gazelle to idle. So this one should be a pretty easy one, right? So we have in here, all of these poses, right? All of these poses that just are basic poses are for the humanoid style characters, right? So if we take jump pose here, it's going to take this guy and contort him into some nightmare of a gazelle with arms sticking out, legs sticking out. That's just super weird, right? And of course, it's because the layout of this guy is different. There's a 4-legged animal versus a 2-legged person with arms. So what we want here, we go to visual again. The easiest way to find these is that this is the quirky animal set. So if we search for quirky, you can see here at the top we have the quirky quadruped, idle set, basic set, and action set. These are the animations for these animals. So we grab that. You can see it gives us a bunch of animals in here with a bunch of different animations. And then when we go into our animations here, we'll have these ones that are quirky quadruped, and then whatever the animation is. So we want the quirky quadruped idle, not just the basic idle. And then we have our gazelle here that's kind of hopping up and down a little bit while he sits there. We can get rid of these guys. We don't need them. And we can add some other ones here. Like, what else do we have there? Fear. Oh, no, he's scared. Bounce. That one still looks a little weird. Then we have some idle variations. Oh, that one's pretty wild. Idle variation 2. That one's pretty wild as well. And then there was we had run, jump, walk. What's in the action set here? Whoa. Swim. Oh, that one. It's Kind of seems like it's contorting the legs a little bit still, at least on this particular model. Spin. What is the roll? That's a weird one. Munch. That doesn't seem to do anything. All right. I guess some of these maybe are... These quadrupeds are pretty old at this point. They may need some updating. Jump still. Jump. Okay, so that was like the jump, basically the jump pose and then the jump action. Death. Oh... Yeah, I think sometimes when you save a hype that has animations in it, if nothing is using those animations, they go away. I've noticed this as well. Why did I just... Well, not saving this anyway. This is just a remix, but... Oh, I like the animation that actually goes with that. How... Loop it. There we go. Blah, 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 blah. That's fun. All right. So that was like an hour of awesome questions. Does anybody have some more questions about building hypes? Maybe you got something you want me to check out. Maybe you got something you just want me to give it a play. Happy to do that. I can show you stuff that I've been working on. I just put out a new hype this week. So I'm going to play it. This one, I'm still considering WIP because there's some stuff that I would like to have in it that we don't have features to support yet. At least not well. I would have to do some like really hacky stuff probably to make some of the things I would like to do work. So this one's gonna... This is how it's going to be for now, but probably when we get some more features, I'll revisit it and add some more features. But the basic idea here is that you are liberating the party animals from these bummer bears who just want to ruin the party. And then everybody follows you around. And the one thing I really would like to do is have that all these guys that follow you around will then also start to help you fight. But I would have to do some like pretty hacky stuff to get the targeting to work, I think. I don't know. I just know that it would be much easier with a tool that we have talked about, but is not currently available. Just a tip for the day in HypeHype as I look at the screen and walk off the screen. Tip for the day, actually one that I've realized lately that not a lot of people know about, which I didn't really realize, but like, let's say we go remix in here, all right? You know, let's say just for example, you know, like, well, actually in here I have UI colors, so that's nice. So let's say I have this like pink UI color, right? And I want to take that color and use it in another hype, but we currently don't really have a way to transfer colors between hypes, right? I could go in here, and if I tap on this, it gives me all the information about this color, all the exact kind of color, RGB value, the HSV value, but most importantly, this hex code, which you can, if you tap on it, you can type in then manually. Right, so now I know the code for that is FFB5FA. If I wanted to go to another hype and make that color again, obviously it's going to be right here. This is also another way you could easily transfer colors. Is it does save the last hype you selected. So if you open a color in one hype and then go to a new hype and make a new color, you could just select it like that. But let's say we didn't do that. We could go in here, you know, we're over here in gray, whatever, and we can select this. What was it? FF. Was it 2BFA, something like that? I totally forgot already. Normally write it down, right, to try and get it. Yeah, that's not right. It's too bright, but it's close. But if you could write down that hex code or remember it better than I did, and then you can go and type it in. And I mean, that will also kind of work for visual materials, but of course in the visual materials you have 4 different colors there. So if you wanted to perfectly match a visual material, you'd kind of have to go in, find out what that hex value is for each individual color. And then also in the case of these visual materials, what all these other values are. And then make a new one. Hopefully someday we'd be able to more easily transfer these between hypes. Another way that was suggested if you wanted to transfer something between hypes is just to take something that has those colors assigned to it, copy it, and then take it and drop it in a new hype. And it should bring those colors with it, although sometimes if there is a same color in that hype already, it'll try and use the color that's already in that hype. The two colors to the bottom of here. All right, so this is the color that you currently have selected, is the bigger circle, right? So if we change this, we can see that's going to change with it, right? So this is the value this is the color we currently have selected. And then if we tap on it, we can see all the information about it. The second color here is the last color we had selected. So for example, here we have this green selected, right? If we leave here, we go out of that, we go to a different color, this white. Oh, I wanted to go to the edit. And then we want to use that green. I can just tap that green in the smaller circle, and I can add that same green now to this color. So the short answer is big circle is the currently selected color, small circle is the last selected color. And then of course we don't want to save any of that, so I'm going to back out of here. Oh, that's that bio music coming back. There we go. Let's see what else I have. What do I have in the works? Well, I've been working on this for a little while. If you guys know my background, I worked on a game called Trials for 10 years. And it is a motorcycle racing game. And I've been really trying to make some approximation of it in HypeHype. But it's super difficult to get the physics to feel good. And of course, I'm basing it on a game where the physics were kind of refined over many iterations and were the main part of the game, as opposed to this where the physics are not entirely built around making a motorcycle game. So my standards for how the physics should feel might be a little too high. For what at least is currently possible, or at least what my skill level is possible at creating. Anything else cool I got in here? Not really. I have this guy I've still yet to finish. This also needs colors. Speaking of colors. Sounds. There's no sound or music here either. What do we have? No, I don't want to paste. But we could test that. See there when we pasted it, this red was not one of the colors we had. And I think even this yellow is not the same yellow as the one that was in the beach. So that's not really a good way of transferring colors between hypes. I think it only really works if the colors are not, like we go in here, right? We have our kind of main set of colors that are there by default. And you can see here in this one, I haven't made new colors. I've edited the colors that are already there. All right, awesome, Hypesy. I'll go check that in a second. If I take something from this hype and I try and paste it over into another hype, it's going to use whatever color I think is in that position. So like if I'm using this hot pink color, or this is the HypeHype pink, hot pink, same thing. which, by the way, I made using the hex codes. That color is probably not going to transfer because it's just going to take the color that is in that slot in the other hype. So if you want to transfer these colors, I think they need to be new colors, not edited colors that already existed. But let's go check out Hypesy's other question here from the chat. We're going to go Hypesy. We're going to go drafts. And I guess we have this one here, Cyberpunk Track 2. And we want to touch to start. All right. So there's a number of different ways you could do this. Let's see, edit, yes. All right, let's look at the logic here. Look at the controls. So if I'm not mistaken, this is basically the cart controls, or did you make this yourself? This looks more or less like the cart controls. So there's a few things you can do. I find the easiest if you want to have touch to start is, well, you can go into the world settings, I believe, and we have tap to start. We can just turn that on. And then but then like if we restart, it doesn't work. That, I believe, just prevents it from starting when you swipe up and you first see it, right? So if you want to have more control over it, you can do it manually. And what I would probably do in that instance is we could say, for example, this guy... Oh, this guy has... How does this not have any physics? This is just visual. It's glued to that. Okay, okay. And this has the physical, right? And so we have the dynamic here. Ah, I see how you did that. That's nice, dude. Real nice. Yeah, transferring color palettes would definitely be cool, and I think we'll probably get there at some point. You know, where you would be able to maybe like save a custom color palette and just copy it or open it in new hypes, something like that. But, all right, so what we want here is... we want to tap to start where it's not based on opening and closing the HypeHype UI, right? We want to be able to control it a little bit more. So probably first thing I'm going to do is turn off these two buttons. So we're not going to see those. They're not going to work. But, of course, car's still driving, and we don't want that. And so for that, I'm not 100% if this is going to work. But let's try it out. We're going to take this. We're going to put it to static. We have both of these buttons off. We're going to add a new button. This button is going to be center, center, full screen, not visible, but enabled. On start, it's going to not physical material. We want physical type dynamic. And then we also want to turn off that button and turn on these two buttons. So now car's sitting there, we tap, then it goes. And then we can play. So that's two options you have. There are, of course, more. You could do basically that same setup with the screen touch button that you are using in your banana hype. That would work as well. But something like this is the method that I use in my kart racing tracks. We can go and look here. Like here's one I've been working. I just kind of started. It's actually one of my old ones, just with some color palette changes, but I will eventually fix that. So in here, I have these on-screen instructions, right? And these don't show up when the main HypeHype UI is on. So you have to hit this play, and then you can see these instructions, and then you can tap to start, right? And then you can just drive just like yours. And so I basically did this the same way as I just showed you. Is that all in here? Yes, it is. So you can see here, I have the button center, center, full screen. It's turning on the new buttons. It's turning off itself. And then in this case, what I actually did was there is an extra hinge. So in my case, I didn't. I'm not changing the physics state of this guy. You can see it's already dynamic. But there's a hinge that is essentially gluing the cart to the ground. And when I hit the full screen button, it destroys that hinge, which lets the car then start to drive. So slightly different method, but same result. You know, you could also do something, for example, where instead of messing with the physics, the force is disabled, so the car's just not going to move until you enable the force with a tap, something like that. And then, for example, in your case, where the car kind of starts and then drops, you would still see the car drop right away, but it wouldn't start driving right away. So it really kind of, lots of different ways you could do that depending on how you want it to behave. I like your cyberpunk races though, dude. I'm glad to see you're making more of those. Those are cool. Boop, 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 boop. Let's see. I'm just gonna go see what's up. This is what I do when things slow down in the stream. I just go check out the latest feed. Let's see what's going on in the latest. Nature scene, Flippy platform, Chili Skipper. Anything different done to it? Doesn't seem like it. Standard Chili Skipper action. Boom. All right, number one on the leaderboard. I'll take it. Whoa, what's going on here? Island scene with just object spam. I like this guy on the scooter. It's a motorcycle in the water, but so it's a jet ski, right? Like that whale's like spinning water. Oh, I just knocked that monkey into the water. Oh, there's like a cool castle here though. Can't go inside it. YOLO! Oh, it turned off the death in the water.
All games here are made by people like you. Swipe up.
All right. Whoa. Okay. Parkour, fishies, nature scene. Whoa, what's going on here? Mushroom house. Oh, that's cool. It's just like a little scene. Got a nice little mushroom house there. This is real nice, though. Nice little flower field. Cool little house. Somebody make a game out of it. Remix time. Can you jump on the houses and climb the tree? Oh no, the tree blocks you from climbing it. Maybe you could probably get up there with a little bit of effort. Viper could get up there. There's like collision. I guess it's the branch or something. But anyway, that's cool. I like that. All right, we got a little tutorial action here. I'm getting shot. I'm getting shot. Let me play. Oh, restart. Get some. There we go. We got another one. This one has zombies. Boom. Whoa, giant robot. Oh, here we've got a bunch of zombies. Oh, and I gotta fight them by hand. That's not good. Oh, and I got shooty robots. I have to fight them by hand too? Boom. Whoa, whoa, little bomb boys. Have some million. How do I end this game? Okay, here we go. Shifter remix. What? Ugh. Test area. Content deleted. This was the sports jam. Introduction hype. The sports jam. It's over. That was a while ago. Oh, we have double bossed. Whoa, and... Oh, crap. Hey, those are supposed to go away at some point, I think. They're hitting the wings. I'm not sure about that one. Whoa, violence. That's pretty harsh. Pretty harsh. Try to finish Soul Spark's Hype Lightning Trial. Let's check out Soul Spark. This is which one is that? Is that this one? The Trial of Thunder? I love this. Is such a good hype. I tried to look at how this was made in the editor, and it was a mystery to me. Boom! Get some, Cube. Oi! Ah! Oh, I'm so screwed. Oh, it got me. Oh, and then I have to start over. You don't have to start over, but I think it won't let you win if you use those. You gotta do the whole thing if you want to win it legit. Oh, too slow on that. Oh! Oh, it'll let me fall off. I didn't know that. I'm so hurt already. And there's like 2 more stages to this. Hey, Bradders, what's up, homie? Long time no see, dude. Good to see you. Oh, my health regenerated, though. Oh. Ouch. What are you doing? What are you doing? Boink. Oh, intense. They're red now. Oh, this is the one that starts slow and then it gets going really fast. Ay-ya. Oh, buddy. No. Oh! Oh, they're cutting holes in it, dude. That's not nice. No! No! Ah! How much are they going to destroy this thing? What's going on? Did I just win? Oh, that's cool. Hey, I'd never beaten that before. Ah, that was nice. That was real nice. How have I not hearted that before? All right, you know, something else really nice Soul Spark's done. If none of you guys have seen it, I really appreciated this. I was running through this. I jumped up here and I fell down. And was like, oh, I need to go backwards. And it says, nope, nothing to look at here, which told me that there's definitely something to look at there. So we ran back in here and boom, it's July Game Jam. Like an ode to all the July Game Jam winners. Very cool stuff from Soul Spark. You can get on the turtle there and ride it with the Shark Boy. Oh, that's easy mode. All right. Nice to know. Let's look at maybe something different, though. Where I was just going through latest here. I think, though, now it's got me in Soul Spark's feed. We go following here. we can see the cyberpunk race. You didn't fix the sun like we looked at. Was that last week or a couple weeks ago? Boom. Hey, first place. That's because I did one time where I ran back and forth a whole bunch of times to try and get all the gems. This one, still very cool. Now there's a level 2. I don't know if I've... Oh yeah, I've played this. Okay. Oh, we gotta be careful there. Okay. Whoops. Oh, this was this. Oh, I haven't gotten past that part yet. Yeah, Carvin does a great job with particles. Really good particles. Oh, yeah, I needed to go down. Whoops. Oh, wow. That's super hard. Super hard. Ryan wants to... Let's look at Ryan's models. Let's do it. All right, Ryan PH. We want... Which playlist is it? This one, maybe? The model showcase. All right. Well, first is the art gallery. You guys might remember this. When Ryan came on the scene, he had this hype where you could suggest things and he would make them. Here's what I suggested. I think I just suggested a good boy, so a dog of any kind would have been acceptable. But a Shiba is, of course, definitely acceptable. Then you got all kinds of cool stuff here. The voodoo dolls I was a big fan of. Those are really nice, really kind of creepy, simple creatures. Crash Bandicoot there. I've always suspected that maybe Ryan is a little bit of a Pokemon fan because it seems like the Pokemons get a little more attention than some of the other models here. Supercomputer, I remember that one. The Rayman, that's pretty good. You got some Attack on Titan characters. Who is this guy? Brawl Stars. All right. You got another Pokemon here, the Magikarp. Again, the level of detail and attention, it seems a little bit higher than some of the other ones. Like maybe this Link here. I like that Link has the little fizzle with him. That's great. Alright, what's next on this playlist? Did I do that right? Alright. Broken level. Read the description. Okay, this was this guy. I remember. Whoa! I remember when you were working on this. I was trying to help you out a little bit with some of these hinges. Yeah, this guy's really wild. It's got. Whoops. Got kind of like. It's got arm coming out of his hips. 3 legs. This thing's insane. What's next on here? Oh, this is cool. This looks like the bad guy from Tron. The original Tron. Not the one where they CG'd Jeff Bridges to look like young Jeff Bridges again. I love Jeff Bridges, by the way. No knocks against Jeff Bridges. Not a big Pokemon fan. Just did a really good job on recreating those Pokemons. That's fair enough, dude. That's fair enough. Alright, what else we got in here? We got the heart. Really cool. Kind of pumping there. One thing you could do, if you wanted to, with this one, I might suggest, instead of having this all one glue group that's kind of scaling up and down, maybe break it into a few different pieces. Because if you look, if you look at a real heart, it kind of pumps on one side than the other side. It's got the different what do they call those? The chambers. The different chambers of the heart, and they kind of pump at different times. So you could get a little bit of that action in there, maybe a little more dynamic pumping. But still, really nice little model of a heart you've created here. Then we had the robot shark. I remember this one. This is cool. And the fish. But yeah, I guess the robot shark is the focal point here. I also like this little treasure chest with some bones sticking out of it. And the little skull guy's skull there. It's just buried in the ground. That's nice. Nice use of that character model. A little bit of fish, a little bit of motion on the fish here might be nice. You could steal that that look at logic from the look at example with the fish, so that your fish are kind of swimming around. So here we got the dragon, and I guess you use this as a enemy in at least one of your games. This is nice. Nice animations. You got some kind of dynamic animation going on. It's floating up and down, the mouth's opening and closing, the wings flapping. And it all looks correct. The things are rotating from the proper points and everything. Really nice. Alright, I remember this one too. This guy's really creepy looking. I guess this is kind of like some Five Nights at Freddy's inspired stuff. I don't know. That's what it looks like to me. But yeah, this one's cool. It seems like... Sorry, I'm just looking at it really closely now. Yeah, real nice. Oh, these guys. I love these guys. The beefed up Ping and Edgar. That's awesome. They're here to pump you up. Probably nobody gets that because I'm super old. Oh, here we got a sticky. I really like the little sticky animation here, and then the really little sticky icon on the chest there. That's really nice. Real nice. Got some scorpions. I like the scorpions here. We got a sandworm. You getting hyped for that new Dune movie that's coming out? They got sandworms up in there. That's looking pretty good to me. All right. And we have a new version of this guy. Magical Mango model. And we have some things floating around here. Can we do anything with this though? Doesn't seem like it. It's just doing magic. Really creepy. Alright, then we have this one. We got this like skull model. It's going to open up. We can jump in the mouth. I feel like it should snap shut when you jump in there. Can I do something with this little gem I have? I can push those bones around. Get out of here, bones. Dang, that guy got stabbed in the head. That's not nice. So violent. I like the music. Nice and moody. Oh, what do we have here? We have some goose crowns. Nice. Interact with the dog. Was that on the last one? Oh, man. Oh. Do not approve. No violence against dogs, please. But it still made me laugh, so I guess you're okay. Alright, we are kind of winding towards the end of the stream here. If you have any last requests, things you'd like me to check out, let me know. And I'll try and check it out in the waning minutes of the stream here. As we head into the weekend. Oh, I'm in the Ryan's feed now. Let's go back to this one. Oh, I'm following here. I want to go to latest. Oh, latest. It's got me in Ryan's feed. What about for you? You gonna give me something I haven't seen before? Oh, what's this? I can punch boxes. Doesn't really seem to do anything, though. That's a lot of boxes. All right. Sport, it says. Horsey pop. Horse run. Horse jumper. Zombie and robot. Boom. Okay, that guy's just there. Aha, there's the robot. Whoa, crazy fast zombie. Whoa, and this guy's got a lot of health. Thank you, Ryan, for making a lot of cool stuff to check out, man. It's awesome. This, like, super fast zombie is something else. Get some. Look how fast it's going. What about in here? Can I go? Oh, I can go in there. Oh, that guy came after me right away. I can't really see what's going on in there. Hey. I guess there's no end game state here, it seems. Alright, what else we got? Just played that. Whoop. Well, we were nearing the end of the stream anyway. So maybe this is where we end it. Thanks a lot, everybody, for coming and hanging out. Thank you, Hypesy, for so many great questions, giving me lots of cool stuff to check out in the editor. As we discussed at the beginning of the stream, there is the new update. The team is working hard to rid it of bugs so that we can share it all with you guys. And we are very excited to do so. And we hope that that will be very soon. Very, very soon. But I cannot give you an exact time frame as they're still working out some kinks. But as always, you can catch me here next Thursday, same time, same channels. And until then, you can see me and everybody in the amazing HypeHype community on the Discord, of course, in the app HypeHype, in the editor chat, all these great places. You can hang out, talk about creating hypes, share your creations, play other people's creations. That is what it is all about, creating and sharing and experiencing everything with your friends and strangers around the world. Lovely. It's the internet. Amazing. As always, I've been Shogun, and it has been my pleasure to hang out with all of you guys for 2 hours playing some HypeHype. And I hope to see you next time. Until then, peace.